So today we're going to work primarily on some hip mobility. All you need is sit on the floor, back supported, and a ball used as an object to move around. You're going to place the ball in front of you to start with, back nice and tight against the wall. Each movement that we do, I'm going to get you to repeat 3 times. For the sake of the extras or the video, I'm just going to do it once, but I want you to do it at least 3 times. So let's get started. First exercise, you're going to lift the leg, keeping the knee straight, hover over the ball, drop down, raise up again, out as far as you can, and repeat on the other side. Up, over the ball, and down, raise again, over the ball, and back. You repeat them both 3 times. From there, we're going to do a similar one. We raise up. This time you're going to bend the knee, turn the foot up, and try to get the heel as close to your pelvis as you can. Then you can touch down, allow the knee to fall. Then we're going to reverse, lift everything off, rotate it back around again, hover over the ball, and finish in the starting position. Repeat it on this side, lift up, rotate inside of the knee and inside of the foot up towards the ceiling, trying to get this heel back as close as you can, and then drop. Again, you're going to raise up, straighten the leg, hover over the ball, out as far as you can, and finish in the starting point. Again, we repeat each of these movements 3 times. So we move on. I'm going to move into this bear sit position. So bear sit position looks like this. We bring the knees up, try to keep the knees nice and wide, and we keep our feet planted on the floor. From here, you're going to place your hands on the inside of your knees. First thing you're going to do is just get a bit of a stretch in around the front of your groins. Whenever you feel like you've got a full stretch, you're going to start pushing your knees and the outside of your elbows together. So they're going to push into each other, and you're going to feel a contraction in the front of your thighs. So you're going to start pushing them in. So I'm pushing my knees into my elbows. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You're going to hold for about 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then I reverse the contraction and I try to pull the knees away from my elbows. So I'm trying to pull the knees away and down. Again for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we put the elbows back down, push them further apart, and we repeat another time where I'll push the knees and the elbows together. So you're trying to pull the knees up, hold for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, then you reverse, try to pull the knees down and away from the elbows for another 10 seconds. So you repeat that cycle 3 times. From here then, try to bring the feet together, and the knees are going further apart. And we're going to repeat the same process. This time we're going to place the elbows or the outside of the forearms down. We're going to find that stretch. And after you find that stretch, you're going to start pushing again the arms and the knees into each other. So you're pushing the knees up into the hands. Hold for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to reverse the contraction and try to pull the knees down towards the floor. So you're pulling them away. Again, you go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you again repeat by pressing the hands down into the knees. And again, I'm going to push the knees back up into the hands for 10 seconds. And then after 10 seconds, we're going to reverse the movement and try to pull the knees down and away from the hands for another 10 seconds. Each time you repeat this, you should feel that you're getting your legs a little bit forward. And then after 10 seconds, we finish. Okay, from here then, we're going to work into some hip switches. So you're going to start in this position. Again, it's like the bear sit position. This time you can move away from the wall, and you can use your hands to base yourself behind. The further you move your back away, the easier it's going to be. So it gives you a little bit more space, and I advise you to do that at the beginning. From here, you're going to learn to hip switch. What that means is you're going to drop one knee in and the other knee down. From here, you're going to lift this back knee as high as you can while keeping this knee on the floor. Okay? Then at some point, that knee is just going to have to lift, but you're trying to keep the knees as wide apart for as long as you can. Then we go down to the opposite side, we drop this right knee down to the floor, and the left knee follows. Trying to do our best to keep our chest facing forward as we're doing it. Then we repeat, lift that left knee, right knee follows, and drop down to the other side. So nice and slow and controlled, we're just going from one side to the other. I recommend doing 10 full repetitions, 5 on each side. These can often feel really horrible to begin with, but if you do enough repetitions, you can start to feel good. Okay, once you've done at least 10 of them, we're going to go back to the wall, and we're going to drop down to one side. So say down to this side, but this time we're allowing our body to turn back. I want you to keep nice and close to the wall, and here we're in what we call a 90-90 position. So back leg is at 90 degrees, front leg is at 90 degrees. Okay? What you want to do from here then is we're going to work the front leg, where you're going to keep your spine nice and straight, and from here you're going to try to fold forward, so trying to bring your belly button down towards your thigh. What you don't want to do is bend. You want to keep up nice and upright. Imagine you're doing a deadlift and you're hinging forward. Okay, hinge, keeping the spine straight. You should start to feel a stretch on this front leg, the back of the front leg. From here then, when you feel the stretch, you're going to start pushing this leg into the floor. Again, you're going to start pushing in for about 10 to 15 seconds. Push, pushing the outside of the ankle and the shin into the floor. Keep going for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds then, we're going to reverse the movement and we're going to try to contract everything at the front here. So you're going to try to pull yourself deeper by contracting all the muscles at the crease of your hip. So you should feel yourself coming down closer to your leg, but making sure the spine stays straight. And you hold this position for another 10 seconds and come up. Okay, so you can decide, you can repeat that 3 times, or you can turn to the back leg. So here, we're going to turn the upper body so you're facing the back leg a little bit more. This is going to create tension in this back hip. From here, we're going to repeat the same thing. You're going to push that foot into the floor. You're going to build it up for another 10 to 15 seconds. Pushing the foot into the floor. Keep going, and after 10 to 15 seconds, you're going to turn your body back to the front leg and see then if you can lift that back leg off the floor. The more you lean forward, the easier it's going to be. You're going to hold it for another 10 to 15 seconds and then slowly lower it down. So again, you can alternate from the front leg to the back leg, or you can do 3 at the front leg and 3 at the back leg. Okay, so then we would come back up to the bear sit position, flip to the other side, and repeat the same process on this side. We'll lean forward till we find a stretch. We'll push the front leg into the floor for 10 seconds. Then we'll reverse the contraction, trying to squeeze everything at the crease of the hip. We do that for 10 seconds. Then we'll turn to the back leg, tilt the body around, push this leg down into the floor for 10 seconds. You're going to feel this in this hip. And the final part of it is coming forward and trying to lift off. We're going to try to lift off everything for 10 to 15 seconds. And back down to the center. Okay, so that's the hip routine that we're working on today. It's quite challenging. Everything should be done in sets of 3 or groups of 3. Everything is done nice and slow and controlled movement. Remember, this is going to be really challenging as you're working in positions that you normally wouldn't work